hello and welcome back to Posh Cats Camping. We're going to introduce you to Smurf, our brand new camper van from IH Motorhomes. So what is the van that's been converted? Well, it's a VW Crafter, and it's a post 2017 model. In 2017 it had a facelift. This is a brand new van straight from the factory, and IH have converted it. Let's have a little look at see what they've done. Well, from the front it looks like just any other van until you come round the side. Now, the Crafter very often had sliding doors on each side. This is the extra long wheelbase chassis on the VW Crafter, and as you can see immediately there's no sliding door on this side. There is a blank panel. You can see where that panel would have been, or that door would have been, and down the side here you've got the usual windows, motorhome windows or camper van windows, and along with a lot of other options, we've gone for the alloy wheels. You may have seen in the earlier video, the work in progress video that we did a couple of weeks ago, that the steel wheels were still on the van. Those were one of the last things to be fitted by IH in the factory. Now, this is where you start to see one or two differences between a van conversion, a camper van, a motorhome. Well, this van conversion doesn't have a sliding door on this side either. It has a factory fitted motorhome door, and that's pretty unique to IH Motorhomes. Has the electric step but no sliding door. And moving along the side very quickly again, you can see the livery there matching on both sides. So that's the two sides. Let's have a little look at the back. Well, here we are on the back of the van here. We would normally see barn doors, the two big opening doors of a commercial van. IH have taken those off and replaced it with a GRP panel, a window inserted in that, and also the boot. There is towing equipment on the back. That's an optional extra as well. So let's open up the boot and have a look. It's on gas struts, as you can see just here, and there's the handle for the Thule canopy, which I'll show you shortly. Now, we got a number of things in here that we wouldn't want to keep inside the van, such as just here, chairs, tables. This bag here has got collapse waste pipes, slip mats, another outside table. Here we've got our wedges, and these are large wedges, our mat, and the bag that contains quite a few collapsible buckets and various bits and pieces, tent pegs and so on, all loose things that are all contained in one bag. It's got a little door into the van, so you can actually get to this locker, or the outside boot, from inside the van, but I'll show you with my sign just how deep this boot is. Got our sign that we put on a pitch for when we're not on the pitch, if we go off site, and I can put that in lengthways like so, and it fits in the boot nicely, so you can see how deep that is. So moving around the van then, we've got a gas barbecue point just here, because we've got no Caligas bottles, or no bottles at all. It's an underslung tank underneath the van with a gasset filling system and that's there. Very useful indeed. The gas isolator is under the van just there. Got vents for the fridge inside, a sliding window here, which is very useful, and I think that comes from the fact that the sister van, the front lounge version, does have a sliding door which allows you to slide the door without the window being in the way. So that's a feature that is shared on both versions of the Crafter by IH. Looking a little lower down, you'll notice that there are sensors. These are parking sensors. They're all the way around the van, front, side and rear, but the bit you're all interested in is this door. Now there is a lovely LED light in the little shoulder above, or little ridge above the door there, and clearly it's built with motorhome in mind. This was a deciding factor for us. We really like this door. It's not for everybody. I have heard it called weird, out of touch, you know, all of these things, but with the gas strap on the top, that door is really nice. And electric step here, which I'll just activate from the switch just inside. There we go. So that's the side door. The mirrors on this van are retractable, electrically retractable mirrors. They're also adjustable and they're heated. And if you look very closely, you'll see it's got the VW blind spot detector here as well, which illuminates if you have someone down the side of the van that you haven't spotted. Most of the time you can see them with the wide angle lens at the bottom as well, but there are occasions when that little light will come on if it's a cyclist or a pedestrian down the side of the van you haven't spotted. That light will come on. Fog lights. There's a 4 metre Thule Omnistore canopy. Moving down the driver's side now, you've got the electric hookup point just here. An essential part, of course. The cassette toilet, Thetford cassette toilet locker, where you can empty the tank. Just here you've got the wastewater and the freshwater drain off points, and here is the freshwater filler with a lockable cap, a Truma boiler vent there, and along the side you've also got the marker lights all the way down as well. As you can see, the washroom windows, 2 washroom windows in the centre of the van on this side. The final thing that I haven't quite mentioned yet is a dual camera system on the back for reversing and rear view. And on the roof you can see 2 skylights, a 200 watt solar panel, an extractor fan vent and a TV aerial. Now we've had these Continental all-weather tyres fitted. They're not all-terrain tyres, that's something completely different, but the all-weather tyres do give you a bit of a chance on the slippery ground and in wet weather. Well, that's the outside of the van. Let's pop open the cab door and have a quick look in the cab. Lovely big wide opening doors, and 3 pockets in these doors. A shallow pocket at the top, a nice deep pocket, and then a handy one for hiding an umbrella in the bottom there. All the controls for the mirrors and the locking mechanism is on the door here, and also the electric windows of course. The seats in this VW Crafter are lovely and comfortable. As you can see, there's two armrests with a lovely soft leather. We've opted for the half leather interior on the van, which is a nice hard wearing cloth, which is a light blue and a sort of biscuit colour in a grey, and again the beautiful lush soft grey leather. We've opted to cover the seats. And jumping inside the van, was a nice driving position with a steering wheel with controls on board here. Nice clear dials, ventilation, that includes air conditioning in the cab, the media system, which is a DAB digital radio and satellite navigation, and connects to your phone with all the other little apps that I haven't yet got used to. Controls for the fans and heating is here. Does have stop start technology, so if you're in traffic the van engine will cut out and restart again as soon as you take your foot off the brake. And there's also traction control. The controls down here, we've got a 12 volt supply and some USBs with a little pocket there for your pens and your notepad, a lockable glove box, and lots of pockets around on the front of the dashboard with bins along the front. Now, there is two at each end, there's two cup holders and a 12 volt supply up there. Now, you'll notice that we've kept the Garmin satellite navigation system from the Caravan and Motorhome Club. We're hanging on to that for the time being whilst we're continuing to tow Ethel from time to time. And up on the windscreen we've got my temporary dash cam wiring, and of course the dual camera screen here for reversing and rear view. Along the top we've got the lights for the cab, and along the top here we've got bins. It's really useful for keeping your sunglasses or your wallet or anything while you're driving along, and some extra storage space too. Well, that's enough about the outside. Sue's now going to take us inside the van.
The interesting bit.
Yes.
Well, as you can see, we have a normal door rather than the sliding door. It's got an absolutely enormous bit. We use it for our doggy stuff, so we've got plenty of space to put the doggy stuff in there. We've got the step, and then we've also got a nice blind, as per usual. So that's the door. We've also got this really useful storage area above here. You just be careful not to bang your head on it, which I have done. In here we store our internal blinds, as we don't have the Remus blinds, so they store in there nicely, and also our collapsible stair gate that we use as a barrier to stop the dogs from getting on our bed at night. We've got another little box here that is meant to be for shoes, but it's sort of become a bit of what was a bit of an alcohol cupboard when we last went away. The beers fit in there a treat. You can stand up for packs of beers and the wine in there. So that's that cupboard. We've got a panel here. Don't ask me anything about that. I know you switch it on and off and it goes red when there's a problem. When the waste is full and when they need more water. This is the gas, which is really handy. We actually know how much gas we've got because we've got it on board. You don't have to pick up a cylinder and shake it. So that's really good. This is Trev's cupboard. That's the one that he's nabbed for his photographic equipment. It all goes in there. Nice handy little shelf if you're sitting here, put a cup of tea on. And then in here we've got the fuse boxes. We've got an emergency first aid kit, and we've also got our brush and dust, so we've made good use of that space. Going along here, this is the wardrobe. We've got our table in here as well, so we're going to put a bag, you can put boots and shoes on the bottom there, and it'll probably be mainly used for coats, especially when we go to Scotland. We have our big thick coats. And then up here is a really handy storage. My handbag goes in here. There's also the dog stuff, and then toasters, kettles, trays, the sort of things that we use regularly. They go in there. That does hold quite a bit actually. We've got a nice mirror if you want to look at yourself. We've also got this lovely curtain that IH made for us. It's lined as well, and there's a lovely discreet rail here, so you can pull that across in the winter months to give it a little bit of extra warmth and a bit of privacy as well. if you can't be bothered to put the blinds up. And we've also got this, we had that fitted, which is the insect blind. The thing we like about the cab is that it's a separate seating area. I know it's not part of a dinette like we had before, but we wanted an area where Trev could come and sit if I wanted to stay in bed, as we've now got a bedroom come lounge area. It does make a nice seating area. These swivel round and you can push them back. As you can see, it's a very comfortable little area here. You can see out of the door. It's lovely and open. It still feels like part of the van. It doesn't feel like it's a completely different area. We've also got this lift up flap here, which extends your worktop, and that's on a very substantial support there. So if Trev wants to, he can pull this chair forward and he can use this as a little worktop to put his computer on when he's doing his videos. So that works well. Now, how long have you got about the kitchen? I love the kitchen. I like the fact that it's all in one area. This is all kitchen stuff. We've got a good sized sink with a lift up glass top. I've got my collapsible bowl, so that's great. Obviously swivel tap. This is an extra bit that they've built for us, and that's great when you're on electric because you can use it as an extra worktop, and I'm quite tall, so that gives me a few extra inches so I don't have to bend down quite so far if I want to do anything. And obviously we've got the 12 volt and the 240 volt there, so that's, you plug your kettle in there. We've also got just the normal size fridge, which is much more efficient. Our previous one was a really big fridge and it always struggled. And there's adequate space for us to keep enough stuff in here for a week. And you've got the freezer compartment, which if you take everything out of the package, you can fit a lot in there. So I'm quite pleased with the fridge. It's not an automatic, but it warns you anyway. It alarms when you need to remind you to put it on battery while you're travelling. So that's not a problem. And then I really like the fact that I've got 3 drawers. I only had one, and that's only a very small drawer. So I like this, that I can fit all my cutlery in the top shelf, top drawer I should say. And then we've got the little one. I've got my cleaning products and other odds and ends. And this is a really deep one, which is good for the heavy things like the tins and the cans and the jars. So and you can fit a lot in there as well. And then we've got the combi oven, and I keep my steamer in there. And then below that we've got storage as well. I've got saucepans and pots and pans and tins and things under there. So that's really good. This cupboard, I've got my muggy thing and the mugs store in there, lovely. Because we don't have a rack, so we've made do without. So this is perfectly adequate. In here I've got a little basket. I can fit all my plates and things in there, a treat. And another little basket there with just my glasses in. So that's good. And then in here I've got all my umpteen tins of tea, a must, and coffee. And then I whittled it down to just a few plastic fold-up collapsible things that I use all the time in that one. And this one is for food, and you can fit quite a lot in there actually. They do go back quite a long way. You could fit a week's groceries in there. That's surprising. So I really like the kitchen. And we've got the kitchen roll holder as well. So this is the hob. We put this on here just so we don't scratch anything, and apparently I could put the steamer on top of here when it's hot. Is that right, Trev?
You can, yep.
Yeah, because it doesn't get hot, it's the pan that gets hot. And we've got the 2 gas burners. They're more than enough. With the steamer, the good thing about that is you've got 3 different compartments in one. So, now what is this, do you reckon? Do you think it's a wardrobe? It looks like one, but no, it's not. It's actually our washroom. So I've really taken a liking to it. To begin with, I thought, I don't like shower curtains. I've always had a shower cubicle, but this one's quite spacious, as you can see. It's quite a big area, and you've got 2 curtains, and they do dry quickly. And the other thing I like, this is extractor fan. It's really, really efficient at extracting the steam. And there's a little light in it. And we've got loads of lights. We've got this light as well. So we're certainly not going to go without light. I like the fact that we've got 2 opener windows. It does make it nice and light, natural light in here. I like this little bowl. The fact that I can get my face in it. It's really great. It holds quite a lot of water actually. This is all wiped down. It's all waterproof. I love it. I think it's really lovely. We bought this little hanger to put the flannels on. We're really pleased with that. And we put this extra pole in as well for hanging the towels to dry, because if you're on the move you don't have a chance to hang them outside, so that's perfect for hanging them when they're wet. And then in here we've got enough space to put the small toiletries in there. And then at the bottom behind our towels, this is a really good sized cupboard. We've got all the cleaning products and the big bottles of things in the bottom there, and I put my dirty washing in the top here, and then I've got a decanter under the bench when we're away for 3 weeks. And that's a big area, and that's all this lovely wipeable stuff. The shower tray's quite deep as well, which is good, and just obviously the normal toilet. Now this is the shower end, and that is the tap that you alter the heat of it, hot and cold, and you just pull this out and we just press the button and release it. We didn't want anything to put it in on the wall because that just hold it anyway. And then we've got, this is the toilet roll holder. It's obviously to keep it dry when you're having a shower. And there's quite a big rail around the top for the shower. You can have it either halfway round or completely round, whichever you prefer. And the shower curtain's neatly tucked away here, and it's got 3 tie backs to stop it from getting in the way when you're using the toilet. There is adequate space to wash in here, so yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised with the washroom. Now this is the bit that sold it to us, was this lovely lounge area with these nice benches that you can slob on. And you're using the space really well, stop it laughing, because you're sitting in it during the day and sleeping in it at night. At night we've tried all ways. You can pull out these slats and make it into a double, or you can, if you're on the move and you don't want to faff around with that, what we do, we just take all these edge cushions off. They all come out. This stays in place. That's lovely and padded. So we just take all those edge cushions off and put them out of the way. And then we've got a roll out 2.5 centimetre duvet mattress. We just lay that down there, just your pillows and your duvet, and that's done. And then the cushions can store in here. And it's no longer a pink job putting the bed linen away, because I can't get it all in here, so that's Trev's job now, so that's really good. Because as you can see, it's quite a substantial cupboard, but you have to pack it in quite tightly, because you've got the 2 duvet mattresses, the 2 duvets and 4 pillows in there, so you have to be pretty strong to get all the air out and get them in that cupboard. So, but that's where they all go, so that's Trev's job. Then the bottom here, this little rubber thing comes out, and then the pole goes in there, and then the table, and we've got our table. And you can fit 4 around it, can't you, Trev, to have a meal?
Make it into a dining room.
Perfect for just us. We've got lots of visibility. We've got a slide. This window is a sliding one, which is really easy to open. Just slides like that. And these are all push-out ones. So we've got one there, a big one there, and one there. So we've got lots of lovely visibility. We're looking forward to looking at these windows in Scotland. And what we also liked are these little areas here. They're perfect for putting your cup of tea on when you're in bed, or if you're sitting here. And all these little ledges. There's little ledges up here. We managed to find things to put on all of them when we're in bed, don't we, Trev?
We do.
The seats obviously are leather and cloth. They're very, very comfortable. There's storage underneath. Now this one is from here to here is all storage, so that's got a good amount of storage. You just simply move the cushion up and then lift this up, and then you just look underneath, store stuff underneath. I don't need to demonstrate that, do I?
No.
And then here we've got the trimmer heater under there, and then half of that is free for storage as well. So I'm probably going to use that for my dirty washer. So I'm going to wait for a long while. So that's storage. And cupboards, this is a nice size cupboard. This has got all my electrical bits and pieces, and linen can go in there. So underneath here we've got all our switches. This is the truma for the hot water and for the heating. We've got the 12 volt here, the USB socket and the normal socket. And then this is obviously a light switch, and so are these, and they're dimmers. So we've got a trail of LEDs above there. And under here we've got all lights that shine. We can't put them on because that make it flicker apparently. And we've also got lights in the ceiling as well. So this is the telly cupboard. We really like it because it's nice and discreet, and it keeps it less dusty. So you can pin the door back with a little bracket like that so it doesn't swing shut. And you can actually move this out, it is on a bracket. And Trev's pulled it out so you can have it in any position you like. So the last two cupboards, so these are quite good size ones. They're good for storing clothes in. And this is mine. So yeah, they're good size anyway, you can fit all your clothes in there, can't you? And they're conveniently near where we sleep, so you can reach them. And then there's a little flap down here. We're going to take stuff out for our Scotland trip that we're not using to give us more storage, and then under there we're probably going to put all our boots, muddy boots and extra warm clothing in a big bag so that you can just pull it and help yourself to whatever you want, because we might as well utilise this as we've got this extra bit of access to the garage. So above us there's two wind up skylights. This one above ours, where we sleep, and another one further down. So it makes it really nice and light and airy in here. Now the one thing we don't have is curtains, but I'm not bothered because they get in the way, they don't serve a purpose, and they cut out light. So I'm quite happy with just the windows. But we have got blinds on them. We've got the insect blind here, and then we've also got the blackout blind. So I'm more than happy with that.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that tour around our new camper van from IH Motorhomes. It's a VW Crafter, and this van is 6.83 metres long and it's just over 2 metres wide, so it's considerably smaller than Bertie, our previous coach built, but and it does feel a little more snug, but we, as you were saying, Sue, we just need to get a little bit more organised, don't we?
Yeah, in the mornings obviously it feels like you're in a bit of a muddle until you've made the bed up. But it doesn't take long, does it? You've just got to be more organised, and you can't really cross two of you in the passageway bit, can you?
A little bit snug in the kitchen where you've got the washroom opposite, but what we do find is that the driving is so much more comfortable, isn't it, Sue?
And quiet.
No rattles and bangs.
No rattles and crashes and bangs that we used to get, even though we used to pack everything up to stop it making a noise. I suppose that moves around more if it's a coach built than it does if it's a van, doesn't it?
The van seems to be much more stable, and with it being the 8-speed automatic, it's a real dream to drive. Really, really comfortable drive, and we're going to get Sue behind the wheel fairly soon. Well, with that note, on that note, we'll close the video. We're off to Scotland next week, so we'll be bringing you lots of video from there, and keep well, and we'll see you next time.
We can't wait.
Bye now.
Bye.